Welcome to the second day of our Tyca Festival, brought to you by the local charity Arts Taunton. Today, we have a remarkably wide selection of completely unique performances, coupled with some real insight on design and media makeup, just in time for Halloween. We start our program today with the family theatre show Ernest's Journey. Brought to you by Clementines Live Arts, the performance combines circus, puppetry and storytelling with a beautiful live concert harp score. This enchanting tale of adventure, cabin fever and discovery tells of a story of a young man setting off in search of happiness. In his adventures, he sails the seas on a pirate ship, makes unlikely friends and discovers happiness to be more of a journey than the destination. Let's join Ernest's journey now.
Tyca family, welcome, welcome one and all to an almost live theatre adventure. How are you all feeling today? Oh, you think the fact that you're behind a screen means that you can't talk back, don't you? Well, I can tell you right here, right now, that couldn't be further from the truth. You'll be actively encouraged to shout, scream, whistle, whoop and talk back. And on some level, I will be listening to your responses. We hope that you enjoy it. Ahoy there, sailors. Allow me to introduce myself. I go by the name of Half Pirate Percy. And like my name suggests, I am half pirate. I bet you can't guess which half. My mother was the infamous Calico Janet, and she sailed the 7 seas, collecting treasure, friends and enemies, and memories of distant shores, lined with seaweed and anemones. But I grew up with me dad, right here in Taunton town. What do you all at home know about pirates then? Shout a few things at the screen. What do you know about pirates? What do they love? I can tell you right now, more than anything else, under the sun, pirates love the alphabet. And pirates love one letter, it's our favourite one by far. And a pirate's favourite letter is of course the letter. I hope you all shouted out at home. Our favourite letter isn't R, though it be in our top 3. We love our R. We love our I. But best is the mighty C. You see? No sailor ever sailed to sea. A sailor sailed to sea. That's the 7 seas. You see, it's easy, let the seas lead me. And pirates love one Shakespeare play, of course it's Julius Caesar. And pirates love one footballer, of course it's David Seaman. And pirates have a patron saint, it's Francis of Assisi. And our favourite vitamin supplement is vitamin 2EC. Now I heard you lot were good, but seeing is believing, so I'll seize the moment to teach you the pirate alphabet. Now I need you singing in your living rooms, singing in your kitchens. It goes almost exactly like this. We'll give you one line of the melody. We need the big one singing and the little one singing. Here we go. C, 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 C. C, 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 C. C, 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 C. C, 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 C. C, C, C. C, 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 C. C and C. You see? Now you know your C, C, C. I see you're ready to be silly. I'm getting carried away, aren't I? I was going to tell you a story, and it's one of my very favourites. It's all about a lovely young man who went by the name of Ernest. And Ernest was a kind young man, born and raised in Taunton town. In Monkton Heathfield was his little home, and through these busy streets he roamed. But he always felt like there was more, things to do, places to explore. His itchy feet danced to each beat, but something inside him felt incomplete. His smile wandered off, and he wanted to follow, but he never did know where it would be tomorrow. Even his skateboard wouldn't bring his smile back, so he packed up his knapsack with crayons and a snack, and he set off on an adventure. He walked and he walked, and he walked past Taunton train station, and he kept on going. He walked, looped back around through Ivory Park, and he kept on going. And eventually he came to the Old Bridge Viaduct, and there, on the banks of the River Tone, was the strangest looking person that he had ever seen before. The strangest looking person that he'd ever seen before? Was it one of them that you met, Ern? Was it one of them? It was me. Of course it was me. There on the banks of the River Tone was the most amazing person that he had ever seen before. All right. One of the most amazing people he had ever seen before, easily in the top 3. Bit harsh, mate. Top 7? Anyway, this amazing person was crying. Can I hear all of your crying noises at home? Hands up if you've ever cried before. That should be all of you. You were born crying. Hands up if you've cried in the last week. Hands up if you've cried since this show began. Don't answer that one. And he asked, "What's wrong?" And I told him, "My ship isn't shipshape." And he said, "What do you mean your ship isn't shipshape?" And I can explain it to him, but I'm going to need a bit of help from all of you. Wherever you are, be it living room, sofa, kitchen, garden, anywhere, I need you to repeat every word after me. Here we go. We say, "My ship isn't shipshape. My ship stops short of the shore. I'm sure my ship is not shipshape. It stops short of the shore to be sure." Now, if you ever saw the shipshape sort, you'll be sure this sort stops short. Now, I'm sure you all got that one, but we'll scale it back a little bit anyway. On the seashore is a seesaw. But you see, I'm sure this ship, she's not the shipshape sort, which sails shore to shore. This ship's the sort to stop short. Okay, we can scale it back again. On the seashore is a chip shop. But my ship stops short of the chip shop. And the chip shop chefs chop chips when the ships stop. And chaps off the ship stop to chomp cheap chips up. My ship should stop at the chip shop where the chip chef's top tip to the chaps is to chomp chips. Okay, all together with this one then. I want to chomp chips on the seesaw when my ship stops or by the shop on the seashore where the chefs chop chips for the chaps on the ships who stop tipping to dip the chips in the cheese sauce. See, I'm sure my ship is not the ship-shaped sort. It's surely the sort to stop short of the shore where the chip shop sits and the chefs chop chips. It's sort of a sore subject, to be sure. And Ernie piped up, "Oh, he's fallen over. Sorry, Ern, you're all right, mate." Ernie piped up, "Well, it looks ship-shape enough to me. I think you've just left the handbrake on." And then he reached inside. And when I saw that he was right, I grabbed him in my arms and we jumped for joy. And I gave him an affectionate one of these. And Ernie went to sit in the best seat in the house. And he strapped himself in. I'm sure you all know about strapping yourselves in, and none of you would ever argue with that. Very important safety feature right there. And I went to hoist the anchor. Did that sound like an anchor being hoisted to you? Because it sure didn't to me. Let's try again. He hoisted the anchor. Okay, one more try at that one. He hoisted the anchor. Much better. And I went to hoist the sail. To hoist the sail. Tell myself. And then I set off to hoist the sail. I think I set off a little faster than this, actually. That's a bit better. Oh, maybe a bit too fast. Oh, I can't. I'm not sure if I got that one. Oh, yeah, so that one. Oh, shut up. Oh. And I hoisted up the sail. Oh. And heaved it up high and gave it a little billow. And there she blows. And we set sail together, me and my mate Ernie. And I showed Ernie all around the ship, starting with the most important part of the ship, the ship's kitchen. Being on a ship, we have no running water, and so everything we drink is in bottles. We've got grog, 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 and transmutation potion. Any ideas what transmutation potion might be? What do you think it is? Should we give it a smell test to have a look? Let's have a smell test. It's always a good way to find out. I have no idea what that is, but I wouldn't touch it unless I were completely out of grog. And that leads me on to the most important part of the ship, the armory. Here we store all of the weapons, just in case we would ever run into the beast of the deep. Who is the beast of the deep? I hear you ask. Well, legend has it, she is big enough to swallow ships whole, strong enough to make the river Tone swim back uphill, back from whence it came, and mean enough to eat a baby seahorse right out of its daddy's pouch. But if we encounter her, I will be ready. Here we have the long sword, perfectly balanced, so much so that I could place it right here on my chin. But legend has it, the beast of the deep has not one, not two, but 3 lives. In which case, I may have to reach for the cutlasses. And with the cutlasses, I'll slash and I'll dash. I'll slice and dice and thrice and twice. And I'll swing, ha, and sway, ha. And sometimes she will come right at me and I'll have to make a defensive shield. Ha, ha, ha. Other times, she'll push me down towards the ground. I'll be down on my knees. Everyone will think that this is the end of half Pirate Percy. I'll be in a tight spot until, I'll be back up on my feet again and ready to go. Sometimes she'll pop up right behind me and I'll have to turn and turn and turn and turn and be ready to go again as she arcs high above with the high darts. Sometimes the battle will get closer than that. Sometimes we'll be close enough that we could almost kiss each other. In which case I'll go for me grandma's dagger and I'll just get with... A little bit awkward. Are there any doctors in the audience? No? Homeopaths? No? Don't worry, I got this. I'm gonna kiss it better. That usually helps with these little owies. If we take just one thing from the show, don't play with knives, kids. And that leads me on, of course, to the most important part of the ship, the rigging. We need to hoist these sails 3 times daily, like so. And then a little billow. Set them on up. And there she blows. And that leads me, of course, to the most important part of the ship, which is the navigation system. It's never once failed to take me somewhere absolutely spectacular. We spin it like so. And that means we're going this way at this. We're going this way. That's fantastic news, said Ernie. But how soon will we get there? Oh, not long, my dear boy. Not long at all. Anything between 6 and 12 months. 6 to 12 months? But what will we do? Won't we get bored? Bored? You mean like a port and starboard? No, I mean like getting bored. I know a cheese board and a skateboard and a board of trustees, but no, I mean being bored. I must say I'm absolutely stumped. Any of you know what this being bored thing is all about? What do you think it means? Not having anything to do. But right now we've got 1,271 things that we can do. Would you like to play a game? Okay, I'm going to sit you here again, Ern. What colour game would you like to play? Or perhaps we can ask the navigation system for a bit of help. Here we go. Red or orange? It's a red game. Let's play a red game. It's my very favourite. I've definitely got a red game in here somewhere. Here it is. Enough red games for me. Would you like to play another game? Let's see what we've got then. What colour game? What would you like it to stop on? Yes, we've got a blue game. Exactly my very favourite kind of game. Let's see what we've got in here then. A blue game. And just as I was about to tell Ernie it was time for another game, he piped up. Oh, okay, I get it. We're not going to get bored. But all these games are making me sleepy. I'd quite like a bit of shut-eye if that's okay. Oh, of course it is, my hearty. It's been a big day, and we've got another big day ahead of us. You can sleep right here, my friend. Sweet dreams, and I'll see you in the morning.
Whilst Percy drifted into peaceful dreams, Ernest saw such scenes you never would believe. He peeped out at the ocean's constant motion, slow, unbroken. Explosions of swollen waves, rolling and unfolding, rolling and unfolding, rolling and unfolding. Explosions of swollen waves, rolling and unfolding.
When Percy awoke the next morning, he couldn't believe his eyes. Oh, I can't believe my eyes.
Yes, I just said that. As he looked around the ship, everything looked different.
Everything looks different.
Yes, I just said that. The navigation system was nowhere to be seen.
The navigation system's nowhere to be seen.
Look, Are you telling this story or am I?
Who are you again?
Well, good question. I guess I'm half Pirate Percy.
Then who am I?
Look, just let me do the talking and you keep going with your morning.
Right, you are.
Percy wandered around the boat to see everything was different. The navigation system was gone. The kitchen was in chaos. And all of the rigging was in a terrible tangle.
Right. Right. One moment, I'm just gonna get there. A second, let me just reach for the. Don't worry, I got this. Oh, man, you haven't given me. Speak amongst yourselves for a moment. There we go. That's more like. So in the middle of that, and I'll just get. I got this. Oh, lost me hat and my chain with that one. I'm gonna need a bit of help from you. With a 3, 2, and a 1. Can you help me with that? Here we go. Hey, hey. Oh. Send them on. And there she blows. Fantastic. Oh. Ooh. All of that rigging's made me a bit thirsty. I don't know about you lot. Let's see what we've got in the kitchen, shall we? Oh, I do wish I'd labelled these now. Can anyone remember which one's the grog and which one's the transmutation potion? Which one's this one? And which one's this one? I still don't completely trust you, to be honest. I think it's the smell test is going to help this time. One more. I don't feel quite right, to be honest. I think I'm just gonna take a little sit down, if that's all right. Once again, speak amongst yourselves for a moment. Oh no, I definitely don't feel too good. I feel girt funny, actually. One moment, I'll be back with you in just a second, right? Let me just... Okay. Let me just... Oh, my head. It does feel a bit funny. It does feel a bit funny. I don't want to just give it all that, but I do definitely feel not quite right now. Not quite right at all. I don't know which way's up or down or left or right is hair of the dog. Right. Sit down should help, I think. Right. You know what this means, right? You know what this means. This can only mean one thing. The beast of the deep has been messing with my ship. Ernie, wake up. We're going hunting. Now, if you see the beast of the deep anywhere, you be sure to tell me, yeah? Can I count on you, everyone? There is going to be hell to pay. Now, you tell me if you see her, right? She's not over there, is she? She's nowhere to be seen. Right, let's look in the ship. She's not in the ship. She in Ernie's bed. Is she in the kitchen? Behind me! Behind me! You were tricking me! I thought you were tricking me. She's definitely behind me. Are you sure? Are you sure? You were tricking me. You think I'm scared, don't you? You think I'm scared of the beast of the deep? Well, I can tell you I'm half Pirate Percy, and I'm not scared. Run away! I want my mummy! She is behind me! Run away! Ernie, this might be the last thing we ever do, my friend. I think we're fish food. I want my mummy. And just when I thought that this was the last that anyone would see of half Pirate Percy, Ernie pipes up. The beast of the deep? That's my friend Shirley. We met last night. Shirley? And you're not going to eat us? Does that mean we could be friends? And from that moment onward, my friends, Percy, Ernie, and Shirley lived happily together. And we sailed the 7 seas, collecting treasure, friends, and memories. And I wish I could say that we lived happily ever after. But it wouldn't strictly be true. Like every family, we had our ups and our downs, our rounds and our rounds, our grumps, our frumps, our lumps and our bumps. But every step of the way, we had people who cared about us by our sides. And that is all that anyone can ever hope for. I have been half Pirate Percy. This has been Ernie. This has been Shirley. But there's someone else for you to meet. At the back of the stage, co-director and soundscape extraordinaire Emmy the Harp. Can we hear it for her, please? And Emmy's gonna keep playing for you all the way out the doors. But just before I go, I'm gonna have to say a massive thank you to the Tyca Festival and Arts Taunton. A massive thank you to the Tacky Morris. A massive thank you to Highwayman Films. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you. You have absolutely made my afternoon. Thank you so much. Keep smiling your happy smiles. Thank you and good night. Thank you so much. And you'll have some sounds from Emmy as you get up and head on your merry way.
Thank you, Clementines Live Arts, for reminding us that happiness happens in the most unlikely places and times. It's something we can all learn from this year's experience. Our next production comes to you courtesy of Bridgwater and Taunton College students. Having taken an environmental theme, one that is very much in the news this year, the students have each created a garment fashioned around sustainability and architecture in the community. Taking this brief and working with industry professionals, the talented students reveal specifically designed merchandise made for the Tyca Festival and produce a video diary of a day in the life of an art, design and fashion student.
Hi, I'm Hannah. Welcome to Bridgwater and Taunton College. I'm the Level 3 course leader here for our Art and Design programme. That's the extended diploma. And since September, we've been working on a project in collaboration with Tyca Festival. We've worked really closely with them and built a really solid relationship and decided to work in a creative group. So we've had graphic designers, photographers, fine artists and fashion students work together to create a fashion showcase for you, some promotional items as well as some photography shoots. They're really excited. There's 5 groups up and coming for you and it will be great to see the work that they've got.
Our team name is Oculus and our theme is Hogwarts, and this is what we have done.
When we got the assignment, we looked into the different aspects of structure. For example, with buildings, they could be old, new, industrial, quite natural buildings as well. We also thought about structure in humans, as the bones, organs, nervous system, and they're all quite different structures. There was also the ones in nature and the metaphoric ones as well, which we looked into, but we eventually decided on a solid building for our structure.
Yeah, so you think of structure, you think of buildings, and for our survey, I just wanted to get a general sense of what sort of buildings people see as structured. And a trend right now is Hogwarts and Harry Potter characters. And Hogwarts is a very large building, very structural, so we decided we'd base our garment on that. And we decided to go with a cloak or coat, sort of. And we decided to go with the colour green, because on my survey we also found that green is surprisingly a structural colour.
And then we went for the merchandise approach, and we wanted to do something related to the garment but slightly different as well, something very wearable and appropriate for the age range. So we went with the snakes like from Slytherin, but we didn't want to make it too much like Slytherin because we wanted to sort of reinvent it so that it wasn't like a copyright problem. And we went for like a very structural snake, and then we drew some like different sketches with like swords and stuff, but we went with the simplest one because we felt it was just more appropriate for the age range and we felt like people would wear it more and it just looks cooler. But yeah, and then we took photos and we did a poster which we wanted to make it really like, wizardy and magical. So we added a glow to the picture to make him look like he was glowing.
Yeah. Going on with the Slytherin theme, with the obviously the green garment, I wanted to create like a cool kind of like atmosphere as well. So with the final photos, I edited them to make them seem cooler and more like atmospheric. So that kind of goes this living theme rather than just like the Hogwarts theme.
Hi, we're GMT, and for our project we chose the Willow Cathedral because it's a natural source and it's quite sustainable for what we wanted to do, and we decided to make a corset out of the willow, and yeah, so
For our team, we have different roles, and there's 2 roles mainly for each person. My role is to make the magazine, which consists like our individual roles behind the scenes and stuff. And Molly's is to make the dress, Jan is the logo and the corset, and then Toby's video and Molly's the photographer. So yeah.
When doing all the photos, I made sure that I went out to the location first to get like ideas of what I wanted to produce. I also made sure I did a mock photo shoot so that I knew exactly what I needed to do, camera settings, etc., so that it didn't go wrong on the day and it all ran smoothly.
So 3 weeks into the project, we were in high pressure. We were all like, we didn't know what to do. We were so confused of like the whole project, but we had our group chat, like group call through Instagram, and we all talked about like what, like something like that's creative, like something new that's never been done. So I came up with a willow corset. So I basically had a background in resistant materials, and I kind of like making stuff out of wood. Yeah, we made a plan here, like what we're gonna do.
Basically for the dress, because it goes underneath the corset, we didn't want it to attract too much attention away from the corset, and we just wanted it to kind of hide the skin. So we kind of went for like a simple pencil dress, inspired by Isumiyaki with the tube designs, which he called A-pop designs.
And then for the video documentary, I started sort of getting behind the scenes shots for what we were doing, and I've got a plan of stuff, if this goes away, of all the types of shots I wanted to get. So of like in the classroom, but that turned into like a studio interview, and then after I got all of that, I started sort of compiling the ideas and creating mock-ups, which I then moved into the final documentary.
I am the logo designer, so in here we can see our logo. I chose green and beige because we want to go with the nature theme, and the reason why we chose nature is because we want nature to be more focused on, like, I think youth should be more focused into nature, because I feel like they're not much focused like today. They're just into like TikTok and everything. I also created the corset. It took me like, I don't know how long, but ages, because the wood was really hard to cut, and I used glue gun to put it all in together. So with the corset, the willow was normally green, but I chose to peel the green skin out because it won't stick well. Like using glue gun, it just comes off. So I peeled it off and it comes up with a beige kind of look, and that kind of looks very natural, and it kind of fits our color scheme, which is green, beige and white. And yeah, we took some willow from our location and peeled it off.
Hi, so I'm Lucy, this is Tommy and Charlotte and Molly, and we went down the natural structures route to inspire our garment. So Charlotte's going to start. explaining it to us.
So I was the photographer in the group taking photos of the final garment, which was inspired by natural patterns that we had all looked at in our secondary research. And then we had taken the process for all taking a different element of the brief to look at, and I did a lot of different mock shoots for it with different models, and then decided on a location a couple of fields away from here, and went into the studio on site to take photos. Tommy, what did you do?
So I did the poster side of things. So I implemented the design within the photo, within the poster, and I used the photo of Molly, which is the model, and showed her wearing the garment on the poster.
So I also took on a role of graphic design along with Tommy. So I made the promotional t-shirts, taking inspiration from the pattern that we used to create the overall design. And then I added Tyca to it because obviously it is a promotional piece, but I ensured that it wasn't the logo specifically, so more people are likely to wear it. And I took inspiration from graphic like t-shirts, which is a very popular trend at the moment. So I wanted to replicate a design similar to that. So I also helped designing the product. So we looked at different natural structures and decided on using pattern that is used in cabbage. And we wanted to bleach this onto the jeans, which was our garment. That's what we decided on using. So I came up with different designs for this and ways to replicate the pattern in the physical form and in the fashion. So we also did ruffles and cyanotypes, which Charlotte created, which clearly and like quite obviously display the natural side of our project.
Hello, we're Ija, and we went with the structure of the skeleton. I'm Drew, and I was in charge of creating one of the promotional items we went with, which was the poster.
I'm Jazz, and I'm in charge of the fashion garment, and Izzy is...
I'm the photographer.
I'm Abby, and I was kind of in charge of designing the second promotional item, which is the tote bag.
Yeah. We went with the skeleton because we were never told we had to stick with like a particular structure like buildings or whatnot, and a lot of the other groups they went with buildings, and we weren't really vibing with buildings, so we decided to do something different, and I think it really worked out for us.
So for the fashion garment planning, me and Abby kind of worked together to plan our designs because I'm really indecisive, so like I kind of needed help with that. But Abby designed the trousers, and I kind of we all had like an opinion with it, like something we didn't like, something like we did like, and yeah, and then I basically made the patchwork thing, which is here in my sketchbook.
Then after Jazz had finished gluing the patchwork on, I had the trousers, which I then painted on. And then when designing the tote bag as well, I did different research into different designs, and I've drawn up like different mocks.
Yeah, and we kind of just went off of that. Abby kind of designed everything, and we just said like what we did or didn't like, and we changed it, and then we basically made it like that. Yeah. And for the second top, I kind of had my own inspiration with it. I wanted to be like kind of simple, like wearable, but like different. And yeah, I tried out loads of stuff. The top was going to be made out of elastic, but it didn't hold its shape, so we decided to do it out of wire, which was kind of challenging, but then we kind of worked with it anyway.
I'm Sam, this is Jaden, this is Belle, this is Daisy, and we focused on the Firepool pump house along Firepool Lock because we wanted to focus more on a deserted or more mundane building and see if we can give it a bit of life and make it more interesting.
We chose this building due to the beautiful structure of it and the lovely red brick colour of it. I came up with different designs related to take characteristics from the building and to try and take the main characteristics from the building to add to the outfit. Like the brickwork, the different windows, the whole actual structure of the building, as it's like a really big broad structure. I took a lot of the vines as well on the side of it and added it to the side of the sleeve here. I tried to direct all those points to replicate like where it was on the building. Like on the sleeve here, there's like one side has the vines and the sign, and on the back it also has the sign as is placed on the building itself. The colouring, of course the main obvious colour is the red, as I use for the red velvet parts, and there's the grey parts underneath. I also did a lot of research into the actual signs itself, which I found were adverts for Van Heusen, and they do collars and shirts. This replicated it in this way here with a removable collar. Also kept to the theme sustainability, and all the materials I've used for this outfit here are either what I've had at home or what people have given to me, or like secondhand. I made it mostly from my brother's old suit. It was falling apart, and I took parts of it because there was a lot of moth damage on it, so I removed parts like the sleeve and the leg because they were not usable anymore.
Would you say that added more character to the actual corset, more like how there's character to the building because it's more broken and abandoned?
Yes, it is. Yeah, I made sure to keep the loose threads to show how it was falling apart. Like this maybe used to be a pristine building and it's fallen apart over the time, and I showed it in here, maybe it being a nice pristine suit, but it felt fallen apart over the time, having parts missing, sleeves coming off.
So what I focused on mainly was the location and angles, since we wanted to really show how the building inspired the garment. So I wanted to make it so the angle was low, so you could see the garment and the aspects that were on the building that were also added onto the garment. And then to keep with the whole colour scheme of the red and like the kind of abandoned thing, I made it so the green grass was turned more into like an orange brown, so then it kind of blended in with all of the photographs together. And I had to work with the fence that surrounded the building, so I kind of like included that into some of the photographs of the photo shoot, and to kind of make it more, I don't know, pleasing to the eye, we moved it so we went to a bridge that was a bit further away from the building, but in the photographs you could still see the building in the background. And that's kind of how it all turned out.
So basically, I designed the posters and I made in total 3 ones that I was happy with, but there is one that was my favourite, which was the first one that I made, where I basically just kept the orange colour scheme, which I kind of kept with all the posters. But what I did was I took the photos of the building, I went out a day, took photos of the building, and then to make it look like it matched the poster better, I edited all the other colours out of the photos and just showed the orange, because I felt like that was quite a bold characteristic of the building that I wanted to keep, and I basically kept that orange colour scheme throughout the whole posters. But then I did make 2 other posters, but I could edit the pictures in a way to make them slightly more red. So I made one poster that was had a red style to it, And also, I did edit with the photos slightly to use a liquefied effect, where it basically stretches the image until it creates like lines that are from the image, and I used that in one of the posters. But also, before I started designing the main posters, I wanted to make a mock-up poster before I started, just because I didn't have any photos of the building yet. So I had a picture of a building from Bristol, and I basically just tried figuring out how to make a poster with a structure in it, and just to practice before.
I'll talk about what I did. So I did most of the research because luckily, well, not luckily, but last year I was doing already my second year in this project, in this degree, and I was able to do a lot more research on this building because I did that last year. So I was able to incorporate some of that into this project. So I was able to draw on some of that. And luckily, I still have this sketchbook here, which is from last year, which I used for the project last year. And it helped me come up with the idea very quickly so we could get the ball rolling on what structure to use. We haven't used anything that I did last year because we wanted to give it like a more fresh sort of, and I wanted everyone to sort of do their own thing and bring it together, which I think we've done very well as a team. I've also been doing the documentary for our project as well, which I don't have anything to show right now, but that should be finished sometime soon because we've all done different parts of it. And I think, again, that draws on us coming together as a group very strongly because we were able to do our own thing and bring it all together.
Having just seen some amazing creations by arts and design students of Bridgwater and Taunton College, we are now inviting you to take part in a unique media makeup demonstration brought to you once again by Bridgwater and Taunton College. Last year, this workshop was so popular that we had to run extra sessions. The students will recreate live their very own unique Halloween spooky looks for you to copy. We would be delighted if you could tag us in via social media and share your Halloween makeup pictures. If you pop onto the Tyca Festival website, you will see some of the amazing results from last year.
Hello everyone and welcome to Bridgwater and Taunton College. This is the Media Makeup course. My name is Rhiannon Salter and I teach on the course here. Today we're going to be doing Halloween makeups. Our course entails wig making, prosthetics and body painting, design, sculpting and much more. Today you'll have a series of makeups delivered to you by our students and we hope you enjoy.
So, put your head back. I'm gonna apply that onto my hand. I've popped some hand sanitizer on, so you're all good to go. Apply that.
My skin beforehand for you.
Thank you.
That's okay.
So I'm just gonna apply that all over the face. And then I'm going to go in with one of these brushes and just blend it in like so.
That's a really soft brush.
Is it?
My airbrush brush is my favourite one, to be fair.
Okay. So I've now blended that in. So I'm going to go in with a thin brush, one of these, and I'm going to grab this palette of grease paints. Get the black colour, just apply like that. Does that feel alright, Molly?
Yeah, it's absolutely fine.
Okay. Do the other side.
Is there anywhere you tend to get your inspiration from?
Sometimes it just comes to me, really. Sometimes I get ideas off Pinterest. Sometimes I just think of ideas and it just comes to me. So, just applying that black one. I'm going to go over with the red in a minute.
And what kind of thing? Like, are we finishing with like what kind of look?
It is a clown look.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a little bit of black and it's got a little bit of red in it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's so like versatile nowadays. Like you can do like with Halloween, you've got like the glam ones, or you've got like really scary ones.
Yeah, you have all sorts, don't you? Where
yeah,
it's kind of a good idea, really, if you think about it, because people can get different ideas of how to do different types of makeup.
Yeah. I think it's always good if you've got like more than one option to go with.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Go James Charles.
Yeah. So I'm going in with the James Charles palette. I'm going to go in with the bright red colour and just go over the black. Go do the other side.
Mm-hmm. Does that just like soften out the edges almost?
Yeah, it makes it less like
harsh.
Yeah. See. Also gives a little bit more of a colour to it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want boring all black. You need a colour with it.
Yeah, you need something that's going to kind of almost get noticed.
Yeah.
And like, it's always good to just double check from a distance, like a different angle like you just did then. I think that's... I think if you look like too up close all the time, you kind of got to take a step back like you just did.
Yeah, yeah.
And look at it from a certain angle.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going in with the thin brush again, and I'm going to go around the lips, like so. I love this bit. This bit brings it all together. How's it feeling, Mads?
Really nice, actually.
Yeah?
And I think it's definitely like one of those that's not too harsh on the skin.
Yeah, no. I think these paints are quite good when it comes to that sort of thing, which is good.
They're really good for sensitive skin as well.
Yeah, definitely. So, go over that a little bit more. Want it to be more rounded. Apply some more colour on the brush. So
it's one of those looks you can almost like freestyle and like interpret into your own a bit, kind of.
yeah,
So it doesn't go like exactly how it was or how you planned it to go. Changing it slightly wouldn't make it look any different.
yeah, no. And you go back in with the red again and just kind of blot it. So here on the other side and do the other side. Kind of makes it look a little bit scary, don't you think?
Yeah, I think with usually like if you add the red to it, I think it almost brings out more.
Yeah.
Gives it that something that it kind of needs.
Yeah, definitely. So now I'm gonna go in with some eyelashes.
Are they like the wispy ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're like quite, even though they're wispy, they're quite bold still. Like,
Yeah.
It's almost like going to give it that dramatic look. It's while it's a Halloween makeup, it still like beautifies it. Still makes it a beauty makeup at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. So take that off. Using the duo glue. Comes with a little stick at the end so it's easy to apply. Just put a little bit along the line of the lashes. Put that back there just to let it set a minute. Do the other one.
Usually I'd say about 10 seconds to let it get tacky,
Yeah.
otherwise it doesn't stick to the lash line properly.
Yeah. Definitely needs like less than that, really.
I think with the duo it tends to dry quicker than most.
Yeah, it does.
But if you apply it straight after you've applied the glue, it just slides.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll apply it from the outside into the inside. Like there. Go over the other side and do the other side. Outside first.
Is it best for me to look down whilst doing this? Or eyes completely shut?
Look down, please.
So I think if you keep your eyes completely shut, that's when you get your bottom lashes stuck to your
Yeah,
tops.
definitely. So I think that side's not stuck. There we go.
Hello, my name's Amy Hoddy and this is my model Freya Curtis, and today I'm doing a Halloween look and it's going to be based on a spider. And yeah. So firstly, for this look, the eyes are going to be the base of the look, so I'm going to be doing spider shapes using the eyelids just because it's the base of a spider. It really replicates the shape of a body. So we're going to start with doing a lighter colour on the edge, just like a neutral orange, just so it can fade out into the skin, and then go into the black for the body. So for this, I'm going to be using 3 different eyeshadow brushes. So I'm going to use a small one for now, just to blend the first neutral colour on. And for this, I'm using a Too Faced eyeshadow palette, but you can use sort of any really. I mainly use Revolution, so. Just blend the top of the eyelid in a circular motion, and if you need to, just to sort of get in the creases, just blend it out so it goes lighter and down the eyelid. Just because with dark colours you don't want to make like a bruising or dirty effect. And blend it out like that. And do the same on the other side, just so you know, with symmetry, and just so you know that you've got it applicated for later. Put that down. For this neutral colour, you don't really need to apply it too harshly, just because it's just a little add of the touch, just to blend it out. Then with that, you're going to use the same eyeshadow brush just to do the black, using the same palette for this one, and just apply it on the bottom of the lid and blend it. Just so you know where you're going to put everything. And then for this look, I'm also using some body paint, just to get the vibrancy of the colours and to make sure it's all blocked down. So you could just use an eyeliner, which I'm also using today, but this is just to sort of get the colour down. For this, I'm sort of using, it's like a contour and concealer brush, just to sort of base it down onto the lid. Just like so, and then do the same on the other side. You don't really need the eyeshadow. If you are using body paint, it was just a different way of applying it. And because it is a body, you're going to want to do it underneath the eye as well. So if you go back to your eyeshadow palette and use another small eyeshadow brush. Could you look up for me? Thank you. Just gently swipe it on like so. It doesn't really need blending too much just because you do want the body image. Then it should look like that. Just for this purpose, I don't want it to look too harsh, so I will just blend it out gently. Just like so.
And now I'm also going to create a little bit more on the inner lids, a bit more of black, just so it embodies the actual shape of a spider. So you can close your eyes for me. Just gently with an eyeshadow brush, yet again. Just like that. And now we're moving on to the legs, just to sort of get them outlined. So for this, I'm going to be using a black eyeliner pencil, just so it's not too harsh, and if you make any mistakes, you can take it off if you need to. So I'm going to start with this eye. So what I do is I go from the inner out, so you can sort of get a hold of, like, obviously the difference in the face shape. So obviously up the nose, and it sort of goes down flatter here. So it doesn't really matter, you don't have to be precise with spider legs. And then that's the first two, and then you obviously, because they've got 8, you need 4 on each side, so you don't have to be completely symmetrical, they just need to go up and out. And then for the back ones, they usually are just straight. So I'm going to do like a little bit of an up line, just so you know that they go out. And then you're going to do 1 stroke down for each. Another, just a little bit more diagonal. And then a tiny one at the end. So that's the shape I want. So I'm going to do it again on the other side, but not completely the same. And then the same for the back ones, just go out a tiny bit. And stroke down. And then in a little bit. So now you've got the shape, I'm going to move on to liquid eyeliner, just so you can make it thicker and just so it's like more bold and just it looks more like legs. So I'm going to start with this side instead. So first, outline the legs, and then because you want it to look more realistic, just maybe thicken the insides in a sort of diagonal round curved shape, and then on the top make it more pointy so it does look sort of like a knee. And then repeat that with all the legs. Should you look up for me? I'm just using sort of normal makeup products just so it was easier to access and just so that it's a lot easier to apply. Just so, because if you're using shadows or sort of paints or anything, they can be quite risky, obviously, even to find, be affordable. Whereas with makeup, you can do quite a few things. So that's what I mainly wanted to use the eyeliners, and because they make like a really blocky, dark and, you know, vibrant effect. So now you've got the legs done, you're just going to tidy them up a little bit. And the reason you want them so thick is because we are making them we're going to try and make them look more realistic. So we're going to add some shadow underneath them in a line so it follows. So it does look like it's a real spider stood on the face. And then we're going to use some more white liner or white body paint on top, so it does look like there's a shine on them, and that causes the shadow. So for this, I'm going to go back to my eyeshadow palette using the black eyeshadow. And for this, I'm actually going to use a lip brush just so it's more pointed at the end and it's a lot easier to apply. You don't want a lot of black though, because obviously you don't want it a pitch black shadow, you'd rather have it as a grey. So if I show you with the back one, so we're going to have as if the light is coming from the top. So underneath this first one, we're going to follow the leg shape underneath and link it to the bottom of the leg like that. And then the same one underneath, you're going to go underneath because the light is going from the top. And then get off the excess just so there isn't too much black. Then go underneath only a small bit, and then link back up to the end of the leg. And then you're going to repeat this with each leg, considering where the light is coming from. So with the bottom one, it's going to be in the center, following that leg shape and down. So with all top ones, you want to go underneath as well as the bottom ones, just because if you do both inside or both outside, it will take the realistic part of it off. So with this last one, just go underneath and sort of shadow the inner parts, like so. And now we have that applied, I'm just going to make the lid a bit more black because you can see the legs. So I'm going to go back to my body paint, or like I said, you can use eyeliner with the same brush that I just used for the eyeshadow, and gently apply it on. And it should give that bigger block effect. I'm also going to go over the inner lid just so it shows off the body a bit more. And that's what we have at the moment. So now we're going to use the white to do the shine onto the legs. So we're going to use a white body paint, or you could use white liquid liner because that's the easiest. As with pencil, it can blunt very easily and not show up on the black, especially if it's liquid eyeliner, it could blend into it. So you do want a white liquid. And for that, I'm going to use an eyeliner brush. It's quite thin. I'm going to apply a bit to my hand just so it's easier to apply. And so if you consider where the lighting would come from, you want to do mainly where the knees would be, where the creases are in the leg, and across the straight edge. So if I show you on this one, it'll be straight across the edge there, on the knee and down, and on this one too. So you're going to repeat that on every leg, considering the light. With the bottom ones, you do want to sort of centre the white on the leg, but it doesn't really matter as long as you've got some on there just to prove that there is some light somewhere. There we go. And then we're also going to put some across the body. So if we do some down this leg, so the light would be at the top. So you do want a bit of the body shining here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Do it across where the head would be and down. And then at the end of the body. You can sort of just use a dabbing motion for it, just so it does kind of blend a little bit so it goes into the body, so you know that the shine is on there. We're also going to do tiny dots on the front of the head, just so we can add black onto it after to sort of show that there are eyes. Just like that. So now I'm going to do the other eye with the same process and outline them. So you go in with the liquid liner, going from the inner out because you don't want to smudge it. And the same with each leg, just like we did on the other eye. I do just want to change the shape of this leg, so I'm going to go down a bit further, and then I'm going to grab a face wipe, but only dab it lightly, just because I don't want the base to be ruined. Just like that. Just creating that curve for the legs as well. And repeat it with the bottom ones. Cover me. If you don't have access to a liquid eyeliner, you can use the body paint if you have used it as well within this tutorial, but with brushes it can be harder, I find. So I do like applying it with a liquid liner. I'm just going to change the shape of this leg as well. So do the same of what you did. If you have made a mistake, just sort of dab it so the base doesn't get ruined. And then the final two legs. So once again, once you've sort of applied it, you want to tidy it up a little bit if you're not totally pleased with it. Like I said, the legs don't have to be in any particular way, shape or form. Just make sure the curve on especially the tip of the legs sort of goes out and down so they do look realistic. Just like that. And then make sure they're all pointy. And now we're going to go into the eyelid with the black eyeshadow once again, just to do the body to make sure it's completely black. Going to go back to the lip pencil brush. Then I'm going to go back to the body paint. You look up for me. This is why at first it doesn't need to be completely perfect, just because you will be adapting throughout the look. And then just in the inner corner, so you can close your eyes again. Just like that. I'm also going to add tiny lines at the front of the spider's head, just to look realistic. And then back again with the liner brush and the white, just so I know I've got the eyes down. And we'll go on to the shadow again. So I'm going to go back to the lip pencil for this one. Making sure it's not too dark. And the light is going to come from the same place. So just underneath and connecting it to the end of the leg. For that one. There we go. Just add the bits of shadow underneath the spider, because if the light is coming from this way, just gently add a bit more. You don't want the shadow to be too black, otherwise it will blend into the body and it will just look like you're making the body bigger and bigger. So underneath there, just gently. Like that, and now we can go on back onto the white with the liner brush. And just do, again, focusing on the creases and where the light's coming from. And then the last one. And then again in on the top of the spider's body. Just outline it, outline the head and the back. And then just use that to gently blend. Just like so. So now we have those spiders done. I'm also going to do a cobweb just down here on the face, just so you can get the spider, more of the spider effect. And for that, I'm going to use a white liner pencil. So just by starting that, you just got to follow the edge of the face and go down. You can go up into the spider, just like that, and then sort of do lines like that, as if the center would be over here. Go down and then connect these lines together. And then from this, you're going to go like so. And then connect all those lines as well. Again, with the cobweb, it doesn't need to be perfect, but as long as you have the curves in the web. Like that. So finally, I was going to put one in the web, but I think I'm going to do it across here. And again, I think I'm going to go in with the body paint just so it applies a lot quicker and easier. So just make the spider's body like that. Make the front legs. The center legs. And then the back legs. And then you're going to do the same as we've done on the other spiders with the white. You're going to go in with the liner or the body paint with the brush. Go over the body, just so it outlines it, like so. And do the legs as well. And then we're going to go in with the shadow again, so it creates the shadow underneath, just like the others. So we're going to have the light coming from obviously the same place. Connecting them all together. Like that. And then we're going to finish with the eyes. And one final step is I'm going to shadow the cobweb as well. But this time I'm going to use an actual eyeshadow small brush again. Back in with the black. Making sure it's not too dark. And then you're just going to go underneath like that. And you don't have to apply too harshly and just do quite big strokes. Just like that. And so we have a finished spider look, if you could close your eyes for me. So then you have the two spiders, the one on the neck and the cobweb. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Lucy and this is my client Jodie and we are students at University Centre Somerset. Today I'm going to be doing a kind of Halloween-y Scarecrow inspired look. as I think it will look really nice with Jodie's like skin complexion and her eye colour. So we'll just get started. Yeah. So I've already done Jodie's eyebrows and I've also done her primer. And I used the Kryolan primer to do that. And so then I've also just put a bit of concealer and foundation on her eyes just to create a nice like oval base. So to start off, I'm just going to go in with a light yellow. It's my NYX Ultimate Brights eyeshadow palette. And I'm going with just a pale yellow and just gently go sort of all over the eyelid. I find it quite handy as well to rest your pinky on her chin just to get a good angle to then do a nice clean sweep. Now the yellow colour isn't that bright, so I'm just going to go in with a darker yellow. And it's my Morphe Pride Rainbow eyeshadow palette. So I'm just going to go in with the shade Sunlight. And then to add to the colour, I'm going to add a bit of orange from my NYX palette again, just to make it a bit more warmer. And then just go back in with the yellow again, just trying to build up the colour. And then using a more compact brush, you're going to want to pack in now a darker shade. And sort of press it into the crease, but going inwards. And then going back to your fluffy brush with the yellow, just try and blend it out. Because yellow is such a light colour, it's easier just to keep going back and forth between yellow and then dark and yellow and dark, just to keep building up more and more colour because it's so pale. And then going back in with the NYX palette. And then just to emphasise the yellow, I might go with a bit of gold from my Anna eyeshadow palette, just to... And then just to add a bit of lightness in the corner of Jodie's eyes, I'm just going to add a bit of this lovely, like, iridescent colour. I'm just going to go back in again with my Naked by Urban Decay, the Heat palette, just to try and add a bit more depth to the eye, just in the corners. I'm going to use the colour Cayenne. And then And then once you're happy with the eyes, you can then go in with the foundations. I always like to just tidy up a bit under the eyes where the eyeshadow has like fallen on the cheeks. Just give it a bit of a clean. So then going in with Jodie's foundation. Just sort of get like a flat brush like this, and then just sort of like paint it on the cheeks. Do you know where you can get your foundation, Jodie?
So I bought mine in Debenhams, just from a MAC counter, and the lady there advised me and matched my neck so that I've not got a bright orange face and a really pale neck, so
Yeah.
match it up a bit.
So I always find it's easier just to do sections of the face. I do one cheek and the chin, and then the other cheek and then the forehead and like the nose. Just sort of work in sections just so you can get a nice even blend, because otherwise it'd be a bit like too much.
Have you done any other Halloween looks?
I did, last year, I did a spider coming out of my eye, and then my sister did Beetlejuice. And then we went to work dressed like that. Yeah. What about you, Jodie?
I've done, last year I did a pumpkin across one eye, and it was like peeling.
Oh yeah.
And then the other look I did was a zip down my face and like opening up.
That's
a bit gory
cool.
and gross. Nothing too pretty.
That's a good thing about Halloween, though. You can either go glam or go gory.
Yeah. Good in between.
Yeah. And then go on the other side.
Do you ever do much for Halloween? Or not really?
One time I went out for like drinks with my sister and her friend, but other than that, obviously when I was younger I did trick or treating, but I don't really do much on Halloween. What about you, Jodie?
The area that I live in is mainly of like old people.
Yeah.
So I felt like I had a deprived childhood of not being able to go and trick or treat because they were always like no trick or treaters. So I used to trick or treat on my own house.
Oh.
Which, in hindsight, I probably got more sweets than anyone because my mum used to buy me like 3 giant bags.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'd get my quota in. So really, I didn't miss out. And I didn't have to travel far.
Yeah, where I used to live, we were like in a massive neighbourhood, so everyone went out trick or treating. But then after moving, we live in the middle of nowhere now, so no one comes.
Yeah.
Apart from the neighbours opposite.
I think that is the thing. When you live in quieter areas, it's a hell of a lot like quieter than in bigger towns.
Yeah.
Because I remember one year I went into like my local town.
Oh yeah.
And it was like crazy the amount of people that you could trick or treat on. It was like I was literally a kid in a candy shop. Yay! All the sweets are mine.
There it goes. I'm just patting the foundation into the skin with just a sponge, because I feel like it just gives a nice even kind of texture. And now once that's done, I'm then going to go in with a bit of tart concealer. I'm going to mix it with Jodie's foundation just so it's not too harsh under her eyes. And just go in again with the sponge, just to sort of brighten up the face a bit. Other eye.
Would you say you have any tips for people starting out in makeup? Or not especially, just kind of wing it?
have just practiced, and I always like look at, obviously since starting, when you've done my makeup, Jodie, I watch what you're doing to then learn from you, because I'm still fairly new to it. So it's like trying to learn off of other people, and like always ask questions when you can. Like no question's ever a stupid question. But also like take up any opportunity that you can get as well. So now that Jodie's foundation's done, I'm just going to give it a bit of powder just to sort of set it. Just going with like a fluffy brush. Brush off that. And now, because I've got my Scarecrow look, I'm now going to do some stuff on Jodie's face. So, get our yellow again from our Morphe palette. And then I'm just going to lightly, on like Jodie's cheeks, sort of just do little yellow circles. I found a good tip as well is always just standing back and looking straight on, because you want them to be the same. You don't want them. The problem is when you're going from angles, you can't always see. And then just to build up on that colour, just go back to the NYX palette and get the orange. Just to build up on that colour. And then I'm also going to do a bit on Jodie's nose. Just on like the bridge of her nose, and then the end, like a little ball. And I also might just add a bit of this like pinky kind of colour, just to make it a bit more vibrant, but only really gently. And then to add the finer details, all the line work, I'm going to go in with a small liner brush, and using the Kryolan cream liner, it just comes out like that. And don't worry about going too far with these lines, because I almost think the more extreme, the like cooler it looks, because being Halloween themed, I feel like you can be a bit carefree with it. You don't have to be perfect with it. And then just add little crisscrosses, like stitches. And then the same on the side. And then we're just going to do the nose. Basically a similar design, but I'm going to go down, round. There we go. And just keep going up and up until the two lines meet. And then do a similar effect on the mouth and just add lines. And you could dry off your brush a bit on just on your hand, and then just add a tiny bit of like shadows, just like really gentle lines, just to make it look a bit more effective. And then with a really tiny brush, I find a nail brush is really good. Go in and do just some liner. I find with liner it's best to do the outside line first, just to sort of like shape it out and then build up going in towards the eye. And yeah, this brush is just an Avon brush, and it's just a nail one. I feel like it's really good to do like really tiny details, and then just do the same on the other eye. So. And then just add in some of these lines again, just to sort of tie it all together. If you want, like, pull the skin a little bit as well, just to make the lines a bit neater. Just like that. And then last but not least, just go in with the lips.
I always find having my makeup done so therapeutic.
Therapeutic?
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? So calming.
I think it's the shutting of the eyes. Too risky, might fall asleep.
So I just use a tiny little lip brush. And I have this NYX liquid lipstick. It's just a really dark purple. So I quite like to put most of it, like quite a lot of it on my hand, just so it's not too harsh. And then open your mouth, Jodie, thank you. Because it's such a dark colour, be careful to try and make the edges nice and neat. So just keep getting product and just trying to just neaten the edge. And then just to finish off the look, just get a one of like a disposable mascara wand, and then just dip it in, and then just gently just do a coating. If you get a bit on the cheek, don't worry, like you can just get some makeup remover and just gently wipe it.
I hope you've enjoyed seeing these amazing creations. Why not try these at home and send them in to the Tyca website? I wanted to say thank you to Tyca Festival for giving our students this amazing opportunity. Happy Halloween, everybody.
After a spooky horror makeup class, we now transport you to a thought-provoking play performed by Taunton School Saturday Enrichment Programme students. With nearly 30 million plastic bottles being thrown away in the UK annually, many are ending up in landfill, the sea or on our beaches. So whose responsibility is this? Can we as individuals really help find a solution? Travel to a beach in Somerset with our intrepid young actors and find out what we can all do to do our part as they present a play with songs and dances, introducing Message in a Bottle by Darren Riggs.
caught a fish for ages. There used to be loads of fish here. Where did it go? What's happened to them all?
It's disgusting.
This used to be such a beautiful beach. I've been painting here for years, and it gets worse every time I come.
It's not worth painting.
No one wants a picture of this. Have you got everything for the beach party? I've got the sounds. I've got the food. I've got a ball and some towels. Right, what are we waiting for? It's disgusting. It's so ugly. Where did all that come from?
Welcome to the 6 o'clock news, and on tonight's programme we have a special report on the growing problem of plastic pollution. Over to our science correspondents, Brianna Boffin, Clever Karen and Glenda Geek. Brianna?
The average household uses up to 480 plastic bottles a year, but only recycles 270 of them.
This means that every year in the UK, over 16 million bottles are thrown into the rubbish. Many are incinerated or buried, but many end up on our seas and in our beaches. Well, you join me at what was once an unspoilt piece of Britain's coastline, and is now, well, it looks like a dump. I've been asking some of the locals what they think. Fishers, what do you think of the pollution? Well, it's terrible. We used to catch loads of fish here. I haven't had them in years. I can't remember the last time I caught a fish. It's disgusting and it's ruining our hobby. But what can we do about it?
Artists, what do you think about the pollution?
I've been painting on this stretch of coastline for years. It used to be as pretty as a picture.
There's more and more rubbish all the time. No one wants to buy my rubbish paintings of rubbish.
It's ruining our art.
But what can we do about it?
Children, what do you think about the pollution?
This is disgusting.
We can't have a party here.
There's plastic everywhere.
We might catch something.
I'm not eating my picnic here.
I'll ruin my trainers. They're Nike.
But what can we do?
Oi! Don't you throw your rubbish down here. Look what you've done to our beach.
You kids can't just throw your rubbish round here. We're trying to paint nature.
It wasn't us. We've just arrived. We haven't thrown anything. We think it's disgusting too.
I've got it. It's a message on a bottle.
You found a message in a bottle. She's found a message in a bottle. What did it say? Get the message out and read it.
Not a message in a bottle, a message on a bottle. Look, it says this product can be recycled. So? Well, we can sort this mess out. It may be a global problem, but maybe the solution is local. Look, we can clean this all up. We can get the council to put up signs and recycling bins.
So you're saying it's all our responsibility? Well, it is all of our problem. So why not work together to sort it out?
Come on then, let's do it!
Because
top news, and on today's programme we have some positive news.
Positive news for a change on the problem of plastic pollution on Britain's beaches.
A few days ago we visited this beach in Somerset that looked like a rubbish tip, but thanks to the locals working together, the transformation is incredible. Back to the studio.
The plastic problem isn't just going to disappear, but by all of us realising that we have an individual and collective responsibility, we can make things better.
This is a local solution to a global problem, and the message is clearly on the bottle. But for the viewers at home, the locals will tell you what it is.
Recycle! Reuse! Don't buy single-use plastics! Refill your water bottles! Use bags for life! Don't accept unnecessary packaging!
So, it looks like this community can finally enjoy their beach again. Remember, the message is clearly on the bottle.
Cut down! Reuse! Recycle!
It never harms to be reminded of the part that we can all play in protecting our environment. And thank you to the students of Taunton School Saturday Enrichment programme for reflecting the Tyca Festival theme of 2020, A Vision for the Future, so well. Following on from this thoughtful play, we would like to introduce you to the magic of the musicals. Talented young members of Minehead-based fusion choir and soloists perform a selection of songs from popular shows including Sweeney Todd, Wicked and West Side Story. The full programme for this performance is downloadable from the Tyca Festival website.
Good evening and welcome to the magic of the musicals. Thank you for joining us tonight. This evening is brought to you by Tyca and is filmed in front of a small invited audience in a COVID-secure environment. This evening you are going to hear a selection of solos from shows old and new, some that you will know, some that you might not know, and performed for you by some wonderfully talented local young singers who live in either the Minehead area or the Taunton area. So we're very grateful to them for joining us tonight. I'm Sarah Jane Cross, and I am a co-founder along with Lorraine Ahern of Fusion Young Performers. And that is a performance-based group in Minehead for young people up to the age of 25. And they have been performing shows and concerts since we started the group in 2015, mostly at the Regal Theatre in Minehead, but also in other local venues. We are keeping our fingers crossed that the postponed production of Sister Act that was due to happen in April is going to happen next April. So please do come along and support us if and when it goes ahead. I also work with Centre for Young Musicians in Taunton, CYMT, which is a thriving Saturday music centre for young people aged 5 to 18. And at this centre, people can be involved in bands and music ensembles, vocal ensembles, all sorts of things, and also receive tuition in music production and technology and music theory and composition and lots of different things. There are also bursaries available, making it something that is accessible to everyone. And it's affiliated to the Guildhall School of Music and Drama in London. So all our soloists tonight are drawn from either Fusion Young Performers or Centre for Young Musicians in Taunton. So if you would like to know or find out anything more about either organisation, please do have a look online or on the Facebook pages. But now, I invite you to sit back, relax and enjoy this evening's performance as I hand over to our very talented stars of the show.
Hello, my name is Dan Bolton. I am 21 years old. I've been in the theatre from the age of 12 and I joined Fusion Young Performers at the age of 17. In my time in the theatre, I've been lucky enough to play a wide variety of very different characters, from a heroic and kind-hearted Valjean in Les Miserables to a very cruel and selfish Mr. Bumble in Oliver, all of which have been thoroughly enjoyable to play and testing, albeit in very different ways. Tonight, I am singing Maria from West Side Story. In this song, Tony is reflecting on meeting, dancing, and ultimately falling in love with Maria. The most beautiful sound I ever heard. Maria, 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 Maria. All the beautiful sounds of the world in a single word. Maria, 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 Maria. I've just met a girl named Maria, and suddenly that name will never be the same to me. Maria, I've just kissed a girl named Maria, and suddenly I found how wonderful a sound can be. Maria, say it loud and there's music playing. Say it soft and it's almost like praying. Maria, I'll never stop saying Maria, 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 Maria. And there's music playing. Say it soft and it's almost like praying. Maria, I'll never stop saying Maria. The most beautiful sound I ever heard. Maria.
Hello, my name is Laura Stevens. I'm a hairstylist at Comas of Taunton, and I've been a part of Fusion for a number of years. I am also a part of Teos, and will be playing the role of Jenny Lind in their production of Barnum in April. I will be singing Greenfinch and Linnetbird from Sweeney Todd, music and lyrics by Stephen Sondheim. The song is sung by Joanna Barker, the daughter of Sweeney Todd and the young ward of Judge Turpin. In this song, Joanna compares her captivity in the judge's mansion to that of a bird in a cage and her dreams to be free. Greenfinch and linnet-bird, nightingale, blackbird, how is it you sing? How can you jubilate sitting in cages, never taking wing? Outside the sky waits beckoning, beckoning, just beyond the bars. How can you remain staring at the rain, burdened by the stars? How is it you sing anything? How is it you sing? Greenfinch and linnet-bird, nightingale, blackbird, how is it you sing? Whence comes this melody constantly flowing? Is it rejoicing or merely hallowing? Are you discussing or fussing or simply dreaming? Are you crowing? Are you screaming? Ring dove and robinet, is it for wages, singing to be sold? Have you decided it's safer in cages, singing when you're told? My cage has many rooms, damask and dark. Nothing there sings, not even my lark. Larks never will, you know, when they're captive. Teach me to be more adaptive. Greenfinch and linnet-bird, nightingale, blackbird, teach me
how to sing. If I cannot fly, let me sing.
Before I introduce the next two songs, I just want to take this opportunity to say a huge thank you to Dan and Alicia, who have stepped into the breach. We've had a couple of difficulties this week. Alicia was going to be singing with Jasmine Phillips, who unfortunately had to self-isolate with the rest of her school year. So she wasn't able to be with us. And also, Rose Harris was going to be singing a song called Lost. Unfortunately, she lost her voice yesterday, so she's not going to be joining us either. So we wish those two well and hope everything is fine, but we welcome Dan to sing a second song, and also Alicia has agreed to sing a solo. So we are very, very grateful to both of them. And you're going to hear two wonderful songs now from Les Miserables.
Hi, I'm Alicia Yates and I'm 16 years old. I've just started studying for my A-levels at West Somerset College, in which I am taking biology, history and English literature. I've been performing pretty much my whole life. I've been dancing since I could walk. Theatre's always been in my family. I've been with Fusion since the very beginning and I just love it. So now I will be singing on my own from Les Miserables. And now I'm all alone again, nowhere to turn, no one to go to. Without a home, without a friend, without a face to say hello to. And now the night is near, now I can make believe he's here. Sometimes I walk alone at night when everybody else is sleeping. I think of him and then I'm happy with the company I'm keeping. The city goes to bed and I can live inside my head. On my own, pretending he's beside me. All alone, I walk with him till morning. Without him, I feel his arms around me. And when I lose my way, I close my eyes and he has found me. In the rain, the pavement shines like silver. All the lights are misty in the river. In the darkness, the trees are full of starlight, and all I see is him and me forever and forever. And I know it's only in my mind that I'm talking to myself and not to him. And although I know that he is blind, still I say there's a way for us. I love him, but when the night is over, he is gone. The river
love him. I love him. I love him, but only on my own.
God on high, hear my prayer. In my need, you have always been there. He is young, he's afraid. Let him rest, heaven blessed. Bring him home, bring him home, bring him home. He's like the sun I might have known if God had granted me a son. The summers die one by one, how soon they fly on and on. And I am old and will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He is young, he is only a boy. You can take, you can give. Let him be, let him live. If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home.
Hi, my name is Melissa Coles and I'm in Year 10 at Bishop Fox's School and I'm going to be singing the song Matchmaker. I've been performing in musicals since the age of 6 and some of my highlights include playing Annie and Oliver in the musicals of the same name. I've been a part of the music school CYMT since it began in 2014. Now, being advanced grades in clarinet, piano and singing, I can't thank the team at CYMT enough for the last 6 years. The song Matchmaker is from the musical Fiddler on the Roof by Jerry Bock. The musical tells the story of a Jewish community in Imperial Russia in the early 20th century. It focuses on the poor family of Tevye and his daughters. The song Matchmaker is based on the tradition of the matchmaker, Yenta, pairing young couples to be wed. The song takes us through the wants and wishes of Tevye's eldest daughters, Zaitul, Hodel, and Hava. They pray that Yenta will bring rich, handsome men for them. The song teaches us to be content with what we have and not to take our wishes for granted. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. Matchmaker, matchmaker, look through your book and make me a perfect match. Matchmaker, matchmaker, I'll bring the veil. You bring the groom, slender and pale. Bring me a ring, for I'm longing to be the envy of all I see. For Papa, make him a scholar. For Mama, make him rich as a king. For me, well, I wouldn't holler if he were as handsome as anything. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. Night after night in the dark I'm alone, so find me a match of my own. Matchmaker, matchmaker, you know that I'm still very young. Please take your time. Up to this minute I misunderstood that I could get stuck for good. Day enter, see that he's gentle. Remember you are also a bride. It's not that I'm sentimental, it's just that I'm terrified. Matchmaker, matchmaker, plan me no plans. I'm in no rush, maybe I've learned. Playing with matches, a girl can get burned. So bring me no ring, groom me no groom, find me no find, catch me no catch, unless he's a matchless match.
Hello, my name is James Bolton and I am 17 years old. I have been with Fusion since our very first show. I also study a level 3 diploma in performing arts at Bridgwater and Taunton College, and I hope to be auditioning and hopefully getting into some drama schools by the end of next year. The song I will be singing is When Words Fail from Shrek the Musical. In this point of the show, Shrek is on the outskirts of Duloc, and he is trying to find the best way to describe his feelings to Princess Fiona before he takes her into the castle to marry Lord Farquaad in the morning. I picked this flower right over there is where it grew. And I don't really like it, but it made me think of you because it's pretty. Is what I'm trying to say is that you are also pretty, but I like you anyway. So please accept this flower with its petals and a stem, which represent my feelings and tells you of... Oh, I'm in trouble. When words fail, what will I do? When words fail, how will she know how I feel? When words fail, will I fail too? Hello, fair princess. Oh, look, the moon is out tonight. You remind me of that moon because it's big and bright. And by big, I don't mean chubby. Obviously, you're not fat, but your personality is biggish, is what I meant by that. Sorry about that fat thing, I'm on the hefty side myself. I have to blame the gene pool, which reminds me of... Oh, where am I going with this? When words fail, what will I do? When words fail, how will she know how I feel? When words fail, will I fail to? Do I have a snowball's chance? Are my prospects just too grim? I spent my life stuck in the mud. Now I'm crawling out on a limb. If words fail, she'll know what I mean. If words fail, she'll just take my hand. She sees me like no one else has. If words fail, she'll understand. She'll understand.
Hello, my name is Alfie Yates. I'm 18 years old, and I'm a student currently studying business at the University of Exeter. I've been with Fusion for a number of years now, and I've had the pleasure of performing in shows such as Cats, Oliver, and High School Musical. The group has really helped me improve my confidence both on and off stage. Tonight, I'll be singing Waving Through a Window from the musical Dear Evan Hansen, written by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul. The song follows Evan, a teenager with social anxiety, and we see how he struggles to make friends and socialize with his classmates. And this leads him to wonder if he's worth anything at all. It's a very powerful song that touches on some very prevalent issues amongst young people today, and I will sing it for you now. I've learned to slam on the brake before I even turn the key, before I make the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me. Give them no reason to stare, no slipping up if you slip away. So I got nothing to share, no, I got nothing to say. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned, because you've learned. On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass, I'm waving through a window. I try to speak but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window. Whoa. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? We start with stars in our eyes. We start believing that we belong, but every sun doesn't rise, and no one tells you where you went wrong. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned, because you've learned. On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass, waving through a window. Whoa. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving when you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around? Do you ever really crash or even make a sound when you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around? Do you ever really crash or even make a sound when you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around? Do you ever really crash or even make a sound when you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around? Do you ever really crash or even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? It's like I never made a sound. Will I ever make a sound? On the outside, always looking in. Will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through window. I try to speak but nobody can hear, so I went round for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass, waving through window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? Is anybody waving, waving, waving? Whoa, whoa.
Hi, I'm Kirsty Newman. I'm 15 and I go to Heathfield Community School in Taunton. I'm also a member of CYMT. I've been performing from a young age and love musical theatre. I'd love to take it into my career and potentially perform abroad. The song I'm singing today I competed with in the Taunton Young Musical Theatre Singer competition back in February, where I came second. I'm going to be singing Defying Gravity from the musical Wicked. This comes at the end of Act 1 in the musical, where the character of Elphaba is overcoming adversity and learning to love herself for who she truly is. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing, too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts, close my eyes and leap. It's time to try defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. I'm through accepting limits, 'cause someone says they're so. Some things I cannot change, but till I try I'll never know. Too long I've been afraid of losing love, I guess I lost. Well, if that's love, it comes at much too high a cost. I'd sooner die defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye, I'm defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. Unlimited, my future is unlimited, and I've just had a vision almost like a prophecy. I know it sounds truly crazy and true if the vision's hazy, but I swear someday I'll be up in the sky defying gravity, flying so high defying gravity. They'll never pull me down. So if you're terrifying me, look to the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly. And if I'm flying solo, at least I'm flying free. To those who ground me, take a message back from me. Tell them how I am defying gravity. I'm flying high, defying gravity, and soon I'll match them in rain down. And nobody in all of Oz, no wizard that there is or was, is ever gonna bring me
Wow, I think you'll agree with me that we have witnessed some extraordinary performances tonight and hopefully some stars of the future. So I'd like you just to put your hands together one more time for all our soloists tonight. You've been absolutely amazing. And also, of course, the night would not have been possible without the amazing Keith Jones on the piano. So a big, big thank you to Keith. We also need to say a big thank you to Tacky Morris for hosting this event and making it so safe for us and for welcoming us. Thank you very much to Kevin and the rest of the team. You've been amazing. And also, of course, to Highwayman Films, without whom you guys at home would not be watching this. So thank you, Highwayman. And of course, we also need to say thank you to our audience, both those of you who are sitting up there in the balcony and also all of you watching at home later on in this month. So thank you very much for supporting us. But a huge big shout out must go to Tyca and Taunton Arts for making this whole thing possible. They grabbed the possibility and they took the festival online in only its second year. So thank you, Tyca. Thank you for making this a possibility for these young people to be able to come together and share their art at this difficult time. Thank you. So all it leaves me to say is thank you and good night.
What wonderful performances. Music instantly transports, and these performances certainly did. Thank you, Fusion Choir. Although this evening is nearly over, with just one incredible performance to follow, I would urge anyone who's been inspired by the marathon of youth talent that we've seen during this festival to visit the Tyca Festival website, where they will be able to view these performances again, and where also they have a number of free creative workshops and performances that you can take part in. Everything from visual arts to spoken word, sound effects for media, and how to write a score for a film. There is so much possibility created under the banner of the Tyca Festival. Everything we have brought to you over the last few days has been made possible by Arts Taunton, who raise all the money to bring this youth festival to the area. I know they would like to send a personal thank you to their sponsors, the Browns Word Charitable Foundation, the Schroeder Charity Trust, Trevor Smallwood, Philip Gibbs, and the Somerset West and Taunton District Council, and all the contributors to the festival this year. They have had some challenges as they moved everything from live performances to digital extravaganza in an ever-changing environment. I think we can say after this weekend, everyone played their part, and we sincerely hope that the young people taking part in and viewing these performances have enjoyed themselves. We are very grateful that in a year that has seen us so isolated for so long, this festival is a celebration of all that talent. Now to the last performance of the night. I would like to announce the launch of Somerset and possibly the world's first slamthology. Ha! What a great word. And to be followed by some incredible spoken word performances. Young artists from across the region have come together after months of workshops and call-outs. We have collated the very finest words from Somerset young people, responding to the festival theme 2020 Vision for the Future. Listen now to the insightful, moving and powerful performances of all of their own original work. Tyca Festival brings you Slamthology.
Tyca community, thank you so much for lending me your ears today. I have a really deep sense of gratitude for every audience that I get these days, whether digital or otherwise. Thank you so much for keeping my world going. I go by the name of Jackie Clementines, and I'm here today to present to you Somerset's and possibly the world's first slamthology. But just before we get on to that, I have been invited to share with you some of my own words, which is really exciting for me because I've spent a lot of the last 6 months helping other people explore their own voices, but I haven't spent so much time focusing on my own. And this first piece is dedicated to anyone who's been struggling recently. I know it's been a really, really difficult year for a lot of people for so many different reasons. But yeah, this one's called Feeling Small. Whenever you're feeling small and insignificant, remember you're the littlest snippet of a bigger bit, intimately linked to the infinite. You were made out of love, even if you're not into it. Whenever you're feeling small and insignificant, remember you're the littlest snippet of a bigger bit, intimately linked to the infinite. You were made out of love, even if you're not into it. You came from love. Now you've come full circle. You came from a coming together, the bubble bursting, because babies are made through orgasmic contractions. There's passion in the clashing of these atoms as it happens. We are fractal patterns, manufactured out of phantasms, scattered across a backdrop of star-splattered blackness. We're actors, reaching for targets, but practice never made perfect. You were perfect to start with. How incredibly unlikely is your very existence? Coincidence and synchronicity coexist. The insistence of existence to persist is quite consistent. Systematically erratic, we are mass-produced accidents, stacked upon a pyramid of imaginary ancestors. Lucky or clever, they protected and invested in that little spark of light that tries to light the darkest night. It's just life, longing for love, longing for love, longing for life. So can't you even see? You're a megalithic marvel. Your great-great-great-great-grandma would be equally proud and startled. So put down that selfie stick, take a long look in the mirror. You're not supposed to be taller, you're not meant to be thinner, you're the winner of the biggest evolutionary lottery. You're post-perfect, most worthy person of this odyssey. You've got to be, and so is she. He, they, we. We piece together, paint the perfect puzzle picture. Peace. Whenever you're feeling small and insignificant, remember you're the littlest snippet of a bigger bit, intimately linked to the infinite. You were made out of love. You were made out of love. See, love is in the air, even as the bullets fly, even as the white phosphorus spreads across the sky. See, a soldier is a weapon with a human on each side. Please believe they really feel like what they're doing is right. From knife crime on the front line to pilots dropping hydrogen, every killer has a lost child deep inside of them, fighting for their family, their God, their race, their country. Love makes it all go round, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this next piece I wrote when I heard the legend of Sabrina, a legend you may have heard of before, which is about the goddess of the River Severn. The River Severn that you might be able to see flowing into the sea around Bridgwater and Minehead, where it becomes the estuary there. And it's one of 3 rivers that meet and flow underneath the city of Bristol. Sabrina. Deep beneath these creaking streets she sleeps, between seeds and streams, and she sees seams of green creep between gleaming office scenes in her dreams. So she feeds these seeds and trees begin growing. The cracks in St. Mark's Road don't know it, but she peeks right through to see the sun still glowing. The wind is still blowing and there's rain clouds showing. Through metal grated drains, her veins keep going from the Chew Valley Lake to the ocean, flowing through arteries carved through the darkest of ages. Our sagas are harboured like scars on the pages of her brain, ageless, not enraged or jaded. Her patience remains, straight-faced through the changes. She's witnessed her children's will, twisting her wisdom, new material religion, brand her vision, superstition, through persistent derision, ripping up each gift we're given. Like the kids of all great parents, we're forgiven. But please believe, she has another side too. She's a butterfly just above a typhoon. She could crush this city with a shrug and a rattle, turn Clifton Village into cliff-top gravel, give Cabot Circus its curtain call, turn Brunel's Bridge into a waterfall. See, 150 years seems quite small when you carved the whole gorge using microscopic tools. We'd be fools to think that unrequited love could last forever. There's an end to every tether, rising temperaments and temperatures, but mentally, are we ready now to be more wise and less clever and endeavour to say thank you together? Now, I know this must be almost impossible to imagine given how exceptionally well regulated I am today. But growing up just outside of Wiveliscombe, I was an exceptionally angry young man. I was often excluded from school and struggled to do many of the things that come naturally to a lot of young people. And I've carried that journey with me through my work as a youth worker, working with other angry young men, hopefully helping them to process their emotions in different ways. And one thing that keeps coming back to me on this journey, working specifically with angry young men, is that it seems to me that we are so angry, perhaps because we're unable to be sad, and maybe the traditional gender roles that were handed down to us didn't give us space to have a good cry and let it out, and maybe anger was the one that was most comfortable to fit in its place. And this piece is called Cry on My Shoulder. Come and cry on my shoulder, my brother. Talk about your weakness. Talk about your mother. Talk about your lover, the anxiety you suffer, or the darkest dream you've ever had that made you pull the covers up above your head. Push it deep into your dome, but you wouldn't lock a lion in your house. You'd let it go. Let it go, brother. No other blow could make you suffer like your very own. No one is tough enough alone to go 12 rounds with your demons and your ego. As we grow, they grow. As they grow, we grow. Ask Tyson Fury, one man that he's afraid of, the one his fists could never reach, the bout that never paid off. As you look into that mirror, like you're squaring up to face off, you should already know the answer when you ask what you made of. And that last piece was actually a half-finished piece. I intend to write a second verse for it at a later date, but it's a work in progress that I wanted to share with you at this stage because it felt right when we're talking about Taunton Youth Culture and Arts Festival and what we are all hoping to do for the young people of this area and the young people of the world to carry the torch forward. And the last of my own pieces that I'm going to share with you is actually the very first piece that I ever wrote. It's about 10 years old now. And when I look back at it, there's some things that I really like and other things that make me think, wow, my writing's actually improved quite a lot since then. But, you know, if it ain't moving, it's dead, as they say. So this one is called Our Generation. And I wrote it 10 years ago, particularly in response to the riots that were going around the country and how young people seem to be getting the blame for a number of things. And another reason I'm sharing this with you is it makes me feel young, like I'm still part of the younger generation. Those who criticise our generation often forget who it was that raised it. Are we really that bad, cash mad kids shouting out our vainest fake playlist? It's a strange thing, placing a generation to blame for the state of play created whilst they were children. I was just 11 years old when NATO invaded the land of black gold. You see, we, grandchildren of the baby boomers, if anything, they were the crazy looters, unscrupulous, suited up super producers and snoozing consumers. They looted our future. It was Kama Sutra. They this planet from every angle which they could manage, quite savage. But really, there's no need to panic. The free market needs our collateral damage. It's just now that the chickens are coming home to roost. The farmer's alarm is the scariest proof that the blind watchmaker doesn't know what time it is. His only guide dog's got blocked sinuses. There's little freaks on the city streets with McVitie's yeast-free sticky treats, and they just want more. Can we keep the peace? Now the truth is out through WikiLeaks that there's actually quite a lot of resources. They're just not yours, kids. We can't all drive Porsches. You see, populations are growing, free markets are slowing, and where we're going, there's just no knowing. Having said that, perhaps we do know. Perhaps we've played enough Uno to know. When the dealer keeps getting all the best cards, it's time to kick him out with a fresh bruise on his... I'm not trying to claim like us kids are superior. We're clearly the delirious cirque, the hysteria sick, like diphtheria twisted and hideously blinkered, sinking deep into mysterious new media. We're greedier than a very, very hungry caterpillar, stacking bigger packages. We're masochistic, savage killers. In reality, we are the proof of your fallacy. The small print, the externalities of your balance sheet. One thing that I have heard said about the current younger generation many times is that they're apathetic about politics and care more about what they're seeing on their social media screens than what's going on in their immediate community around them. And from being part of this project along with Tyca, my personal experience has been that that couldn't be further from the truth. We have been running workshops in school key worker groups via video call-ins. We've been running all of the social media channels through the local youth centres, youth groups, and we have been running spoken word workshops with them, asking them the simple question, if you could change just one thing about the world, what would it be? What is your 2020 vision for the future? Tyca's annual theme, which we set long before the start of this pandemic, but I feel it's really grown into itself as the year has gone by. So it's an absolute honour and a privilege for me to present to you Somerset Slamthology. It's all under 25 artists from around the region, and some of these pieces are original pieces they wrote for us, others are pieces they'd already written that they felt fitted the theme. We hope you enjoy it.
I'm Maya. This first poem I wrote during the Tyca workshops. It's called The Black Dog. I can't count the days, the world has weighed me down. A dead lead weight I'm unable to shake presses against my chest. Crushed for every ounce I have left. A haze of confusion surrounds me. Peering through it, I can just about see the black dog lurking in the shadows. The stench of his coat fills my nose, a familiar smell of dry concrete when rain starts to fall. A reminder the sunshine has gone, along with the hope I once felt. His piercing green eyes stare into mine, and I know why he's here. Sent to eat my happiness away, to feast upon the carcass of another misspent day, to take the colours of the rainbow and paint them all grey. I'm left in a world with no hues or shades. He eats words off the page, claws my throat to stop the notes that want to escape, sucks out my energy, rendering me lifeless, until these four walls become my safe place. I lie awake imagining days without him. My love would radiate without him growling at my heel. My words would flow freely without his barks and snarls. I'd have the freedom to be me, to not cater to his needs. Daydreaming of the person I could be if the black dog wasn't there at every opportunity. Yet his presence is as sure as the sunrise, my only option to tame him, so he doesn't control me. I will be the change I want to see.
Yo. This goes out to Sergey. He's in self-isolation because he had to get a coronavirus test. Make sure you do the same if you feel sick. Yo. Here we go. Yo. Stuck in isolation, the situation got me facing devastation as the population nation wasting time. So Barney Rubble on the double with the meaning and rhymes, killing the talkers are fine. People the bitter that chewing on limes, mimes, living my prime, spitting my enzyme slime. Have you come to dine? You better get in line. I haven't got the time. I'm the one they sending just to kill him or the kid at school that needed. Forgive me, oh man, I'm a fool again and pass the pencil. Maybe my lights can meet again through the way I find my zen. When reincarnation meets my vibration, sound adjacent from the speaker here to teach a preacher. Life's a question, I'm Knievel, tried to free fall through deceitful people. How the hell could we be equal? You're just a sequel. I want to leave all the people behind, but think about the kind time invested. Wanna be the best kid in the southwest scene, living southwest dreams. Put my hand on my chest, don't you know we're living blessed southwest. Somerset, wreck the best sets, don't you know, nevertheless, I'm bringing the best. Yo, you think I'm talking about the girls, rocking the pearls? Not that, not talking about the club brats, not talking about fat stacks, matte black Cadillacs, cause I ain't got that. Matter of fact, I want a steady job, but I also want more. I want to tour destinations, learn to become patient, but I don't want to get in line. I just want to find the time to write a line, the beat's divine. It's the pattern that my feet hit the street. Not discreet feet sounding like the pounding. People looking around and I couldn't care. I read the spam out the can with my bare hands. I've been watching kids plan to get up, but we're stuck in this sick world. We're stuck in this sick world. Yo, we're stuck in this sick world. Yo. Tyga, the provider of spoken words. Don't you know that we got the verbs in the back of the head? Man, I barely get out of bed, but that's what I've gone and said. Yo, thank you for letting me be here. Thank you BBC Sunset, thank you Tyga. Thank you everyone involved. Bethany, JC and Ash. Yo, Bass Boys, coming to you. Yo, you ready?
The red, roaring fire that burns uncontrollably is slowly seeping from the deep, paranoid pits of the oppressed mourning minds. It is being encouraged up despite seeming terrifyingly timid. It is roaring and ready to erupt, evoking change on its prolonged, passionate path. A small change, desperate to occur, it's a volume volcano on the edge of eruption. The oppressed are ready to be liberated.
These are my visions for the future generations. These are my visions for the future generations. These are my visions for the future generations. We fall back to nature, to the oaks and the leaves, entwined as we breathe in unison. Vines and minds loosely sink, melt to mossy waves across the land, feeding on bones, hand in hand with our mother, Pachamama. Her heart, our drum. Water, skin, wood, simple. What have we missed? Life could have been this. Just children stuck in these buildings and systems and boxes. We are just different. Drop the pills. Stop ticking boxes. Stop pressuring us till we start getting on it. Went from Wallace and Gromit to stuck late for class, struggling with a busted car bonnet. We wanna be climbing trees, knowing how to plant seeds, read what and when I want to read. We just wanna be free, be able to sit, breathe. I'm 18, already lost too many good people young. I wonder if they'd have lived, if they'd have truly lived in love, learning to give, to receive, learning to breathe and to relinquish, be vulnerable, be sensitive, leave the tradition of conditional love, instead normalize hugs, the freest drug. To the future generations, live in truth for us. To the future generations, live in truth for us.
We're 1,000 miles from comfort. We have travelled land and sea, but we can't go there. Corona-19. Hey, what's happening? I'm sick of quarantining. I should be out there living my life and achieving my destiny. Jeez. How long will this be going on? I don't want to die, don't get me wrong. I'd like to continue my life. Sow my seeds. Not stuck in limbo like a bunch of weeds. But wait, no vaccines. Oh my Corona-19. Please. Yo, where's your mask? You must wear them in shops, pubs, indoor facilities, but not parks, because it's open air. Yeah, going to the bar, wear your mask, and getting a guitar, wear your mask. People shouldn't have to ask, it's not that hard. Wear your mask.
The second piece is called Poof. This is inspired by Greta Thunberg and her incredible ability to move so many people at such a young age with her speeches about what's going on today. So, Poof. At age 6, I wanted to be a vet. And at 7, I dreamed of a private jet. Age 10, I knew the theme of my wedding, the height of my husband, and my third child's middle name. It had a silent Z at the end. Age 12, I was going to travel the world, ride an elephant and swim with stingrays. Age 15, I realised there was more to a vet than petting cute fluffy animals. So I chose a life of disappointment, rejection and misery instead. Also, my teacher said. I chose theatre. 16, I roast marshmallows on a pile of burning GCSE physics notes. 18, out of the system, my first audition. 19, sat on checkouts. 20, time to move out. Living and learning, learning and hurting. Working and working, creating and making a life for myself. A career out of hell, but nonetheless a career I obsess over. Dream of success, my head afloat on cloud 9 somewhere. And as a 6-year-old once said, with my own private jet. Except I can't. Because for every gallon of fuel burnt from that same private jet, there's 9.57 kilograms of CO2 produced. And for every 9.57 kilograms of CO2 produced, 24,000 kilograms of ice disappears. Poof. But after all, who really cares if I get to ride an elephant, right? My life, my future husband or wife, my acting degree, my dreams and beliefs mean nothing. Poof. At age 20, I no longer want children. At age 20, I donate my wages to Extinction Rebellion. I reuse the same plastic shopping bag so many times my Sainsbury's own hummus falls out the bottom. I've forgotten the feeling of Primark's cotton on my skin. At age 20, I spend my days off in the rain protesting, another day in the life of an overconfident youth. At age 20, I no longer want children, a fancy fairy tale wedding with a 6-foot-tall husband stood by my side, because who wants a child, another life in this world, when life as it is ceasing to exist? A myth, you say. A myth yesterday. A reality today, a tragedy we claim to have under control, but is control really a thing when the planet we call home turns its back on us? Fed up with us? At age 20, I pull out my long-forgotten Bible and pray for us. I wake up at night with worry on my mind and no idea why, and then I remember, oh yeah, my life. My life has become a bubble of worry, a spiralling, blurry mess of a life, with uneducated politicians who won't listen to its earth, to its people, to its dying heartbeat, its fiery forestry, its steaming ashtray sea, and me. Little old me. Yes, old. I've already lived half my life. I'm middle-aged. Because if we do nothing, by the year 2050, life as we know it will no longer be. I, you, most likely, will no longer be. Poof. So let's do something. Then, who knows? Maybe I will get that fairy tale wedding. And my child can start dreaming of swimming with stingrays and becoming a vet.
I've been Lawrence the Third. It's a little bit of spoken word. It's called Lo-Fi. Hope you enjoy it. Yeah, equally. Let's try spread this equally. I'd say it's wise that with the few steps we got left, we progress from the rest. Some views don't speak to me. Nah, you ain't reaching me. Yeah, another preacher, please. What's left ain't right. Your direction breezing. No snitch, no rap, but I see disease. Screen activity, move the way you see. Seems everybody bite from the hand that feed them with a hunger for numbers. No mind for their brother. Truth is given to you to be swept under the cover by headlines and deadlines from dead minds. Pinpointing some jail time or state crimes. It take lives, I hope that it don't take mine. Another paper chatting about somebody's waistline. Wait, that's bullshit. Life don't come with cash in a toolkit. Companies be selling dreams with no receipt. Now you done bought it. Oops, that's a little awkward. You can't say you ain't being taught it. Like a school of fish hooked in a rope and line. It's that hard knock, life a school of grime. With hopes, dreams, and dope fiends climbing up the tree for trophies they won't need. Beg that the minds of the blind don't hear what they won't see. Condition and conditioning means that you ain't listening. Go against the grain, too bad the mock you was a sinner, kid. The answer should be definitive, but it's not. We still wondering where the finish is. Peace.
My last poem that I'm going to share with us today is called Visions for the Future. So this event, 2020 Visions for the Future, has been quite an extraordinary event and so well done and organised, and I'm really glad to be a part of it. So I wrote this poem as a response to the theme of what we're doing today. So I hope you enjoy it. Visions for the future. The journey only lasts a lifetime. Getting lost in people and places, landscapes and faces. The dance only lasts for a song. Seeking comfort and rhythm. Bodies groove to trim transitions. Time is so short, and fun can't be bought. And movement is living, and life is forgiving. Let's give it our all. Give it our all. Thank you, everyone, and thanks for allowing me to share my work with you. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event. Have a lovely evening. Bye.
And that is the first instalment of Somerset's Slamthology. voices of young people in the area. And we see this very much as an evolutionary process. This isn't a static piece. If you watch this and got inspired and want to start writing yourself, or you already write and you'd like to be part of the Slamthology, please do go to the Tyca website, have a look at the material that's on there to learn how to do it yourself if you haven't done it before, or if you already are, just to kind of get involved with what you're doing, you can send us material, and we really hope to increase this Slamthology as the years go by. Thank you so much for watching, for lending us your ears. Huge thanks to Arts Taunton and Tyca, the Taunton Youth Culture and Arts Festival. They have been absolutely flying the flag through some of the most difficult times, and for me as a self-employed performance artist to be able to keep doing what I really love throughout this period has been really invaluable. I can't explain what it means to myself and my family. And huge thanks to Highwayman Films, to all of the youth centres, to the Fuse and Street Links team, to Go Create, to the YMCA, to Young Somerset, and everyone else who has made this possible. All of the schools for letting us do our Zoom links throughout all of the peak of lockdown, and absolutely everyone who has made this possible. Thank you so much.
The power of the spoken word never fails to move, and today we saw clearly that when young people are given a voice and a platform, there is no stopping them. Thank you to Clementines Live Arts for pulling this all together. And so finally, after 2 full Tyca Festival days, I would like to thank our performers and all the groups and partner organisations who have helped bring the 2020 festival to you, despite all the challenges they faced. You made it happen when others gave up. You gave so many amazing young people a platform on which to shine in a year that has been so limiting for most. Thanks again to the sponsors, and to everyone involved in the production for Taki Morris Arts Centre for hosting many of the events. Highwayman Films for capturing all the socially distanced performances, Digital Taunton for being a great sounding board, and the team at Arts Taunton who had the vision to make it all happen. We hope you have enjoyed this year's festival. And of course, the beauty of it all is that you can enjoy it again and again and again by visiting the Tyca Festival website. Thank you for being our audience. My name is Ian McNeice, and I have thoroughly enjoyed being the host for this event and sharing in this experience. A very good night to you all.